what was been your impression of Ghana's weightlifting team at the Commonwealth Games?
Well, they had an outstanding performance.
Okay. In terms of what?
A lot of personal bests. A lot of lifts were made on the platform. They've really, they've increased their confidence tremendously.
Exactly. Well, when I spoke to you, prior to the games, when we were at the pre-games in South Asia, you always told me it was about making progress.
Yes, and they did make progress here.
Okay.
I think everyone got a personal best in the snatch, had a lot of personal best in the clean and jerk, and a lot of personal best in the total.
Okay. Can you take us through your team again, who you thought were the high performers?
If we start with Daniel, he had a personal best in the snatch, made all 3 snatches, 2 clean and jerks, so he had a good event there. He actually did more in the clean and jerk than he had done in the training camp. It wasn't his all-time best, but it was good. But his snatches were tremendous. Ruth was up next. Ruth had her previous best in the snatch had been 63 kilos. She did 71. And I believe her previous best in the clean and jerk was 78, and she did 82. So that was a big increase, and she's very young as well. Trying to go by order here.
I know.
Categories. In the 77, Christian, his best had been 100 in the snatch. He did 110. His best before in the clean and jerk was 125. He did 128. Dodu, his wrist had been bothering him. We didn't even know if he was going to lift, and he got a personal best by kilo in the snatch there. He didn't get a personal best in the clean and jerk, but he made 5 lifts, and so did Christian, which is very good. Each lifter gets 3 snatches, 3 clean and jerks. So that's with 8 lifters, 24 snatches. We made 23 snatches. They made 17 clean and jerks out of 24. So they were making a lot of lifts. I mean, when they go out on that platform, they were making things. And it wasn't like we just took light weights so they could make them. I mean, they're getting PBs. They're lifting more than they've ever lifted before in competition. And that, on the competition platform in the Commonwealth Games, Well, so it was really good.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let me get back to, all right, we're at the 85 kilo category. And Prince had his snatch, he made, I'm thinking now, yeah. Prince had another good day as well. He made, he missed 1 snatch, but he made all 3 clean and jerks, which was very good. So he had a good competition and some PBs. Otu, he had personal best at this weight category. He had lifted more in a heavier weight category, and then was off from weightlifting for a while and came back, and in his new category, the 94, got a PB in the snatch. Not in the clean and jerk, but also in the clean and jerk for the 94 kilo category, and the total as well.
Well, from one weightlifter at the last Olympic Games.
Did I leave anybody out? Let's
I'm
see.
definitely going to talk
I got
about
all the guys. The girls, Dora was tremendous. She started at a PB. She did 83, she did 82, 85, 88 in the snatch. Her best before had been 81. She really made great progress in the training camp there. She also, her best before in the clean and jerk was 100. She did 104. And I believe those were done as a plus 75, and she was in the 75 category, so her weight was down, which was very good. Alberta, she snatched a PB by a kilo, equaled her best in the clean and jerk, also made 6 lifts, just like Ruth, and so had a total personal best. So, they did great. They're feeling real confident. They're all ready to get back to training. for the next event.
I saw you work with the game, with the team during the pre-games.
Yes.
And so, to what extent was did the pre-games, preparation have an effect on the overall performance here?
I'd like to think it did. I think the training camp was great to get the team together. Gave us some time to work on some technical things. Focusing on more specific training as we got closer to the competition.
And did it also help build their confidence, you think?
I believe it did. We were focusing on, in training, making lifts. If it gets so heavy, sometimes people will get heavy and they just keep going and going and going and missing and missing and missing. And I'm like, no, if we get to that, you don't always have to go to exhaustion. You work up to a heavy weight often, and then you stop right there. We were also implementing, not every day was heavy. It was like, I like to base training off a concept known as periodization, in which we have variation in volume and intensity and exercise selection, some heavy days, some light days, moderate days, focus on different things. And as we built up, but as we got closer to the competition, we tapered down individually depending on the day that they lifted.
Well, will you say that the pre-games then could be a blueprint, for other competitions?
Oh yeah, just having that training camp was great. It really was good to have that. That was I think had a lot to do with their good performances here.
Well, apart from the training, was there any peculiar things that we did during the pre-games that you think were things worth emulating later on?
As far as in the competition, yeah, we'd always sort of once a week we would have like a control or a mock competition and just sort of give them a test to see how they were progressing in the competition lifts, the snatch and the clean and jerk.
Okay. So, Carl, going forward, you've been in Ghana, you've trained the coaches, you've been with the team to the Commonwealth Games. So what next for weightlifting?
Well, I go back tomorrow, and I'm going to go out to the gyms, and we're going to see what they have there at the individual gyms, because I know you saw the weightlifting, and not every gym has the rubber plates and the stainless steel bars, but you can always do with what you have to get started. So I'm going to work with the coaches that we've trained to try to see what they can do with what they have to get some people to start doing some weightlifting training, and eventually build it up, maybe get more equipment, and those that they do train can come train in a new facility that is at the stadium there.
Will you say you've become more Ghanaian now?
Oh yes, no doubt, definitely.
Did you like the food?
Oh, the food was great. That was, yeah, I didn't realize, you hear certain things about countries, but I'd never heard that the food was so good in Ghana. And it was wonderful. I've tried everything, banku, fufu, gari flotar, halava sauce. Yeah, I can't wait to get back.
Okay then. Carl, wish you all the best.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, this was a great experience. I got to meet some good people. People I hope to keep in touch with. I really enjoyed all the officials here and the coaches, and meeting the athletes and talking to them, learning more about their sport and what they were doing, and just talk a little bit about what they did outside of their sport.
You got a feeling everybody was willing to learn a little bit more, about the other disciplines.
Yeah, I think everyone learned from that, and the whole group bonded together. The coaches bonded together, I feel, and the athletes, and it's like I've tried to watch some of the other events here on the TV, and try to see the Ghana athletes, and yeah, it was a really neat experience.
Have you had a camp like this before? In your career, is this something that should be encouraged?
I think it should be encouraged. I've been involved with weightlifting, where we've had camps just for the the weightlifting itself, but I've not been involved with a total team together at a training camp, and it was great. It was really something. It was I think it was very worthwhile for the athletes, but it was also enjoyable as well.
Thank you. Thank you.